Spoiler warning! I'll be talking about the 7th episode of Lycoris Recoil in this video. If you haven't seen the episode yet, then I suggest you watch it first and then come back here, okay? Okay. This episode reveals a ton of things about Chisato and I am just excited to talk about them. So to summarize this week's episode of Lycoris Recoil, Chisato manages to catch a glimpse of a peculiar message received on Mika's phone. She drags the others and thinking this meetup could be dangerous and could very much mean the end of the cafe. They create fake IDs, fake names, and even have disguises.
Mission start.
They find out who Mika was meeting up with, and Chisato accidentally overhears their conversation and the truth of who saved her. It was Yoshimatsu, the very same guy pulling the strings in all of those events, but is also the guy who visits the cafe from time to time. He ends up leaving the bar and leaves Chisato broken as she couldn't even have the chance to thank him genuinely. Mika and Yoshimatsu have a talk in the elevator and it seems as he's controlling Chisato's heart, since Mika exclaims that he should free Chisato. So what I understood from that is that the Elan institution can literally shut off her heart, which makes sense since it's the Elan institution that gave her the said heart. And that's what he means by free Chisato. I'll get more into that later. While that happens, we also follow the villain and his team. We also learn something important through them as they challenge the Lycoris, or to be specific, they want to challenge Chisato and it seems as these two have a history together. And that's basically it for this week's summarization of Lycoris Recoil. The episode was really fun. The whole sequence with them hurrying up to prepare was really cute, especially when they were pretending to be doing other stuff. Fuki and Sakura visiting the cafe, and I love Kurumi trying to make an excuse as to who she is. I really found that scene very cute. Takina and Chisato's clothes as well when they were in the bar was just stunning. They really look gorgeous in anything they wear, and Takina should have done this when that scene happened. Jokes aside, I want to focus on Majima first. We get a reveal that he was the one who destroyed the old radio tower, the very same tower that Chisato defended from terrorists. And he even remembers that a small child literally took every terrorist present there down, including him. For how he survived, I have no clue, as he did say he was helpless at that moment. I also found it cool how Majima now thinks differently of Robota. Sure, maybe because he can still provide them with some good information, but he does treat him differently as seen in the episode. The ending credits then reveals that their next target is the new radio tower, in which history would repeat itself. But this time, Chisato isn't fighting alone. She has Takina, she has Kurumi, Mizuki, and even Mika, so I'm sure they'll be fine here. And let's just be serious, this is Chisato as a child, and with her gift, she immediately defended the tower from who knows how many terrorists at the time, which would also then connect to the next shocking reveal that I want to discuss, Yoshimatsu's plan. He wants Chisato to keep killing. Because of her gift, she was chosen. Her talent is the reason why she's alive in the first place. His goal is to find the extraordinary talent for killing, and Chisato fits the idea. It seems as both Mika and him go way back, which then makes sense why Mika went with Chisato, because he was following his promise. But at the same time, he genuinely cares for her. As seen in the episode, he was almost willing to kill Yoshimatsu if it meant giving Chisato a life where she can choose on her own. Like, I really felt bad for Chisato here. She finally found out who the person she's been searching for after all this time, and she couldn't even thank him properly as things occurred. And the very fact that she has been lied to by their own teacher for all this time really amazed her, but despite her huge smiles, we as the audience know how much that really broke her. It's a facade. And at the end credits, we see Chisato not wearing the pendant she very much cherishes, showing how much she thinks differently now. Yoshimatsu also talks to Takina on how he has high expectations for her, and her look after he leaves probably tells us something that she doesn't trust him, or that he gave off another vibe in which she had her guard up. And that's all I want to talk about, to be honest. There was the weird reaction when Majima was caught and DA finally knew his face. The commander's assistant reacted as if Majima was someone close to her, or until she reaffirms herself and calms down. That was a little bit sus for me. Maybe I'm wrong here, who knows. And that moment at the beginning of the episode where Takina and Chisato were drawing Majima's face was really fun. The way they drew him was just very funny to me. I also want to talk about how the scenes really mimic each other here. Back then, Chisato was pointing a gun at Majima at the events of the old radio tower, and in episode 6, Majima was the one doing the same thing here, and it both ends with both Chisato and Majima alive. So the final moment these two clash with each other is probably gonna decide their fate. I could be reading too much into this, but that's what it feels like to me. And that's basically all the things I want to talk about in this episode, so if you'd like, please check out my episode 6 review of Lycoris Recoil, or you can check out my episode 4 review of Love Live Superstar Season 2. The choice is yours. That's all for today, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. See ya!